Happy podcast day, Falcon Paladin.
Hello, Sir Somicron. Happy podcast today as well. Quite the excellent podcast today. Top
It
10, in
is.
my opinion, from
Top
now on.
10. Wow, really? Episode 343, top 10. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it is nice and sunny out. A little couple of clouds off in the distance. But, you know, it's a nice day. I'm not going to
Yeah.
not gonna disagree.
No, definitely not.
a good day
disagree about.
It's a good day for green screening, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Yeah.
I'm noticing your green screen looks perfectly stable now. 20
Is
minutes.
it though?
10 seconds ago you were streaming on your own channel and it was rough.
It was rough. Yeah. I think I really think it's just the lighting changes in this room because of the windows, and as the light changes throughout the day,
The color changes, the camera picks it up as a different color, green screen
Yeah.
stops working. Yeah.
yeah.
It's an issue.
Got some work to do there.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we got some StarCraft to talk about today. We got some Warhammer to talk about today.
Yeah, we'll start with StarCraft, as we always do.
Yeah,
Usually do.
absolutely.
So we have a PTR patch notes.
We do. So these are not official.
Nope.
They are proposed, but I think last time they did this, they just put everything in, didn't they?
You know, it sounds like them.
Yeah, I want to say last time it was all this proposed stuff and every single thing made it in, and I was like, oh, okay.
It sounds like them to do that.
So yeah, so I'm not saying I expect them to do that again, but I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Distinct possibility.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have to begin with? Protoss.
Yeah, but I mean, I like kind of looking at their overall philosophy.
Oh, you wanna talk
Right.
about the philosophy? Okay.
Well, I'm just right. So the first goal is to nerf defensive and camping playstyles, is what they said.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep.
like at this point, you know, Terran traditionally is the camping
Total Terran.
playstyle race, but Protoss with their shield batteries and their cannons and stuff can kind of do that too, and Zerg with their queens can really defend against anything in the early game as well. So basically, it's really they don't want to make it as hard to kill somebody in the early game as it is right now.
Right.
And the mid game, I think, is their idea. The second goal is to make Protoss suck less at the highest level, I'm guessing.
Yep.
They don't say those words, but
But
reshaping Protoss tools for high level gameplay is
the polite way
another
of
way.
saying it. Yeah. Third goal is to provide strong playstyle alternatives for various matchups.
Yeah, so they're trying to make Terran Mech more viable, trying to make Zerg Air more viable, which is interesting.
Yeah. And then lastly, overall gameplay and quality of life improvements.
Right.
Yeah.
Generic. Blah, blah, blah.
Generic. The kind of stuff they should be doing in every patch.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So they start us off big. Protoss Nexus shield battery overchargeability removed.
Hallelujah.
I mean, is it that bad?
No. I mean,
No.
it's not that bad, which is why they're replacing it with the energy overcharge, which at 50 cost, the cost of 50 energy from the Nexus, it recharges 100 energy to the targeted ally unit or structure. So you could refill a Oracle with this, you could refill a Sentry or a shield battery.
Shield battery, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what the problem was. Like, from a gameplay style, it is kind of boring to be like, I'm here to kill you. Oh, you pop shield battery. Let me step back for 10 seconds and then come kill you. Like, that's not very interesting.
Right. It was because shield batteries basically replaced pylon overcharge, in which was the same issue, except instead of Protoss getting to live, 3 pylons killed everything. Like, you know, they killed the entire army attacking you. So I don't know. It's boring to watch, and it is very easy to just put down 6 shield batteries and be like, all right, I don't really need to focus on this 100% of the time. If something attacks me right here, my army's here, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not shield batteries that are being removed, it's the overcharge, which is a timed thing, right?
Yeah, which it
It's
would.
not throwing down 6 shield batteries, it's popping a shield battery overcharge when it's available.
Sure. I still feel like if. Well, actually, it might be. Maybe this is a buff. Because if a Nexus can have 200 energy, right?
Yeah.
Energy overcharge is only going to cost 50. You can buff 4 shield batteries at once.
Pretty good. The healing rate isn't increased like it is with overcharge, but still, it does last longer. Yeah.
Wow. It only gives it back 100 energy. So it's the equivalent of having 2 more batteries, essentially. Yeah.
Nice. We'll see.
We'll see. Shield batteries HP is increasing though, so they'll be harder to kill as well, so that's cool.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want you to turtle as much, but shield batteries are harder to kill. Great. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that they do this change and then take away the overcharge, because, like, the one thing that you can do if you want to push in, like, an overcharge is you just target down the shield battery. Because you can kill it faster than you can kill anything it heals.
Exactly.
But now you don't have any reason to target down the shield battery other than regular healing. But they make it harder to kill?
I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Tempest is cheaper on supply.
You skipped Colossus, good sir.
I did skip Colossus. My bad. Colossus is...
They fiddled around their HP to shield ratio, so instead of 150
did.
200, it's 100 250.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. It heals slightly less from from a shield battery.
Yeah. So, and EMPs are less effective too.
That also true. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. So yeah, Tempest is supply cheaper. Its damage point decreased. I forget what damage point is.
Absolutely no clue off the top of my head.
I swear they've done this in previous patches, and
They
we
have
learned what it was, but then we forgot what it was.
Yeah, whatever this is, it's a 28% reduction, so that's good. If you don't like...
Damage point represents the time between when an attacking unit attacks and when it can receive new commands.
Okay. So it's more
So it's
micro...
like yeah.
It's more microable, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
So you fire and you can pull back faster than you could previously if you're kiting with Tempests.
Yeah, this is one of those things that it's like, okay, I'm glad they're putting the change in the notes, but boy, does a 28% reduction on a 0.1 second statistic only affect the pros. You
fair. Know? Extremely fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm going to notice the difference, to be honest, the way I use Tempests.
Yeah, so it just says you got more power to your maxed armies and have more opportunities to micro, while slightly decreasing the attack range to not strengthen mass Tempest armies, which is the other thing they did.
Right? Yeah, attack range versus air decrease on 14 to 13. So you have to get slightly closer to the Broodlords or the carriers before you can like kill them, and kiting them is slightly harder.
Easier.
No, because the range is decreased from 14 to 13.
Oh, right. But your ability to hit and pull back is faster, so kiting is easier.
Well, it's a mixed bag.
It is. Totally mixed bag. All right.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yes.
Yep. What's next? The Immortal. They're cheaper. And their weapon cooldown increased. Okay, cooldown increase. So that means they attack slightly slower. Almost 10% slower. So they're putting out a little bit less damage per second.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean...
The Thick Immortals are too good against Zerg, apparently, so they're going to nerf it, which... I don't know if I feel that's true. Like, they ruin roaches, and, like, other than that, I don't know they're that good.
Yeah, I mean, they're good in every scenario is the issue. Like, if you just have, like, one by itself, obviously, against a ton of lings, it's pretty useless. But, like, when you have 2 giant balls of armies, you're never going to be upset that you've got a couple of Immortals. just for their ability to nullify all damage for like 6 seconds, you know?
Right, right.
So them being, slightly less damagey makes them more of the tank unit they pretend to be. I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not going to complain as a Zerg.
Yeah, I know. I'm fine with it. I don't know if it's necessary. That's all I'm saying.
Disruptors. Purification Nova radius increased from 1.375 to 1.5. So Novas are bigger, but they do less damage.
They're bigger again because they were nerfed to being smaller like several patches ago.
Oh, were they?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So they're not back to where they were they're just pumped up a little bit. And then they don't hit as hard.
Yeah, except versus shields. So they used to do 145 damage and an additional 55 up to 200 versus shields. Now they'll only do 100 damage to everything, but they'll still do 200 versus shields. So they want disruptors in PvP.
Ooh. Yeah, but look, they say they no longer one-shot Marauders, Roaches, or Ravagers.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Okay, I'm on board.
And more potential in certain PvP scenarios, right? Because of the shields. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know that we see a lot of disruptor play against Zerg at the highest level, but
Protoss would have to make it to the highest level before we could see that. Like,
every hero is right there, Somicron.
Where is Hero right there? Didn't he like? I feel like Hero lost to Terrans in the last tournament.
He lost to both Cyril and Raynor at the Esports World Cup.
Oh, so, did he?
Yeah.
I'm totally out of my head that.
Because it was kind of how DVP's been going.
Okay, well, maybe he'll win now. All right, what's next?
Next up, Mothership. The Mothership minerals, gas, and supply costs increased from 306 to 408, which is a pretty big increase. It gets better shield and HP as a result. It does more damage with its laser beams that nobody cares about. Okay, but it targets 4 units at the same time. Hold on a second. That's a little... Okay, that changes everything. Yeah. Oh.
So, one, they're undoing a buff that they did previously, which was they made it cheaper because the meme has always been minus 400 in the chat. Even though they only cost 300.
It's back.
It's back. But, okay, so hold on. They used to target only 1 thing, 2 things at a time, and now they're doing 4?
I think they targeted 1 thing at a time. I'm pretty sure they used to, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they do now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So it was 6 beams, but they all hit the same thing. So it was like not exactly whatever. It's stupid. But now it's 4 beams attacking 4 targets.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We'll have to see if that makes any kind of a difference. Like, I love that the gift they have is of the mothership just, like, flying over a bunch of Zerg, zapping him, and the Zerg are just, like, standing there. They're like, we don't care. Go ahead.
Is that before patch or after?
This is after, yeah.
Is that the... okay, that doesn't fill me with confidence. Because what they're showing there is about 3 Hydras and a bunch of Roaches, and the 3 Hydras are killing it. Like, if you watch his HP bar, that mothership is getting wrecked.
And, like, I guess stuff is dying, but not quickly. No. Not even close.
No. If you... Is that telling it to attack move? If you tell it to... It's target fire, will it target all 4 on the 1, or will it not?
Great question. It can move while attacking, though, like a battle cruiser. That's pretty nice. And that's always been the case.
Yeah.
But it's always done so little damage, it's never mattered. Like,
Right.
never once casting a game am I like, and the mothership's putting tons of hurt on this army. It's like,
Right.
oh,
No.
the mothership's attacking stuff. I'm not even going to mention that.
The only time anyone notices a mothership attacking something is because it's in your base and they're about to offensively recall an entire army onto it, you know?
Yeah.
The
It's like,
precursor
something's
to something
tickling,
worse.
something's tickling my probes. Oh, crap. All right. Terran changes. Okay, overall, though, I don't know any of these changes would like really help Protoss get to where I feel better about them in the late game against Zerg or Terran. Do you? I thought that's what they were trying to do, but none of this stuff is like, oh, yeah, that's going to help. You know?
I mean, I think Tempest will, if they're more microable and like the Protoss pros are good at micro, then I think that should change some stuff in like ultra late game stuff where it's like a big air army. Might be, maybe.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know. Like, I don't know if Protoss fans reading this are like, woohoo, it's time. I'm sure, I bet they're like, okay.
I still feel like every year that they go on without winning a Premier tournament, all Protoss should just start with one extra worker for every year.
I mean, massive difference. They'd win everything. It'd be over.
Then you can dial it back by one. It's fine. So you find that nice middle ground.
Half a worker.
They start with one half built.
Their workers produce at 0.1% faster for the first 60 seconds.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe.
So we're trying to give them like one extra probe over the course of the first minute.
Then you could just start the Nexuses with full energy for Chronos.
Oh, that's better than what I'm suggesting. But yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they should start with a pylon and a forge already down. Like, that seems fair.
Yeah, just give them a shield battery immediately. That's totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they'd even want it. Like, what do you care if you get a shield battery at the start of the game?
But they get to put it wherever they want.
Oh.
During the countdown, they can scroll around and be like, I'm going to put it here. They put it in your mineral line.
Yeah.
Free
and it
scouting.
comes with a pylon and everything. Super cool.
Yeah. All right, Terran. Bunker, missile turrets, and sensor towers get salvage abilities now. The bunker already had that.
Turrets and sensor tower, right?
Yeah. Salvage process is now being cancelled upon taking damage. Oh, okay.
Oh,
that's huge.
That's new. Yeah.
So you can no longer quick salvage stuff to get 75% of the money back because you're going to lose a bunker.
Right. You have to decide ahead of time. Ish. At some level.
Ish. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I like that.
When would you ever want to salvage a sensor tower? Like, maybe if the map is mined out and you're like, I need this money to build a command center. But other than that, like, I don't know.
That's exactly it.
The incredibly common entire map mined out scenario in StarCraft 2.
It happens.
It does. But, like, I don't know. Like, telling Terrans, you can salvage your towers. Like, at no point are they like, man, this sensor tower is useless to me. I'm sure wish it was gone. You know what I mean?
What if they accidentally build a sensor tower overlapping another sensor tower? And like, I wish I could move that to the side, but I don't want to lose all the minerals it cost me.
Okay, fine. If you screw up in your sensor tower placement, deal. This is helping bad players.
Pros do this too. I
don't think they do.
They do. They absolutely do.
What? Like completely overlapping?
Not completely. I'm not like it's a very thin, narrow Venn diagram, but like they overlap a little in places, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
I don't think that's a big deal.
Here's the thing. It's going to be even harder for that to be the case, since if we scroll down past one, the radar range is decreasing from 22 to 20, from 27 to 22, a 34% reduction in size.
Yeah, so it's even harder to overlap anymore.
Yeah, which means you now need to build more of them, which
Uh-huh.
means to pay for more of them, you're gonna have to scrap some. You
I
know?
don't think so, but all
Yeah,
right. I guess we'll
because
find. I mean, the first time we see a Terran player scrap a sensor tower in a professional game, I will give you $1.
deal. I mean,
Okay.
everyone knows the Terran build order is supply depot, barracks, natural, center tower, right? And the center tower at your natural. Once you've got a third and a fourth, you want to move that further out, so you got to scrap it. It's great.
Yeah, obviously.
Uh huh.
This is ridiculous. I don't understand this at all.
What's even better is it's now cheaper. It's gone from 125, 100 to 150. So you're getting even back only 75% of that. It's 75 minerals and 40 gas.
Right. Right. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
we did skip Planetary Fortress. So
Well,
the armor's going down from 3 to 2 Falcon. Planetary Fortress is a week now. You can kill them with drones.
I'm curious to see someone do the math and see how many banelings and lings it takes now to take one down. Like, if the Zerg has to invest even less to take down a planetary, then I don't know what we're doing exactly. I felt like it was fine. Never once was I like, that planetary is way too strong. Nerf the planetary. I'm always like, it's about right. You had to invest a certain amount of stuff to kill it, and it's dead now, and okay. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to see
Yeah.
Terran get some nerfs somewhere.
Sure, fine.
Like, well, here's the interesting thing. This thing we can say is a flat nerf, all right? Everything else, it's like, they're slightly cheaper, but you can refund them, or they're
Yeah.
cheaper, but they're smaller. This is just a flat nerf. They're like, oh, we want Terran bases to die easier because they get up to 6 bases and then they're just making ghosts and you can't stop them, right?
Right.
So it would be great if there was like a little developer comment on this, but no. We just have to infer that they don't like SCVs. They're anti-SCV unions.
Right.
Orbital commands. I really like this change. I think this is
This
fun.
one's cool.
Yeah. Extra supply cooldown now increases the HP of the supply depot to 500 and immediately repairs it.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat that you can't just have lings nibbling away on a supply depot now and be like, yes, I'm gonna get through. They're not repairing it because then a cooldown comes and it's fully healed.
Sure, but I kind of feel like the player who's not repairing the supply depot is not also going to be on top of a supply call down to fix that problem.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, it is funny in the GIF that they've got showing demonstrating this.
Yeah.
There are SCVs there waiting to do something.
Yeah.
Not repairing.
They're like, we pulled this off of a Falcon Paladin Brave New World game from last week. Again, I don't know. Like they said, the only time that we see supply call down is if, oh crap, I'm supply blocked. I screwed something up. Bam, fix it real fast.
Right.
So I think it's still going to be used that way. I really do. I mean, I guess maybe if there's an unscouted Baneling bust, maybe this would be nice.
How many hit points do they have now?
Internet says 400.
400. Okay. And how much damage does a Baneling do? Because you need 4, don't you? 5 Banelings to kill it?
5 Banes.
So now you need 6?
That's interesting. So it does 80 damage against buildings.
Okay, so you need 5. And now 100 divided by 80. You need 6.5. So 7. You need 7.
Ooh, that makes Baneling bust a lot worse.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's a change. Let's make something different.
That it is.
Well, my Baneling bust builds have to be changed now.
You don't have any Baneling bus builds.
I do not. Did I tell you I used a Baneling bust all the time back in Wings of Liberty.
No.
And then, yeah, like every TVZ I Baneling busted. And then every Terran figured out how to scout it and completely shut it down. And I was like, aw.
Oh. StarCraft players are so lazy. They want one build that works every time. Otherwise, they get super depressed.
It's true. It's true. But I mean, look, I just want it to be moderately viable, right? I want to be able to bust it out every once in a while.
You can. You never do.
You can't. If every player knows how to scout it and shut it down, you can't. It's not even in the arsenal anymore. It's just gone. It's like the 4-gate. The 4-gate got shut down and disappeared.
We got 4-gated the other day in 3s, right?
We did.
So it still happens. It still works. And we even saw that the rush was coming.
We saw some of the rush that was coming, but yes.
Some of the rush, yes. I'm just saying, we find enough people who don't scout that you could pull off a little cheeky Baneling bust. But you never do. You just go, I want to make ultras or swarm hosts.
Well, sometimes I do make Banelings early, especially if there's an enemy Zerg around.
Right, or if there's 3 of them, right.
Right.
But you don't need to bust the Zerg, so it's fine.
No. I did a Baneling bust against a Terran wall. Because there was a Zerg, right? So I showed up with the Banelings and like they hadn't expanded or something, and I was like, oh, well, might as well Baneling bust the front door then.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. I did it. Hooray. It was not planned.
Alright. Hellion, Blue Flame upgrade bonus. Damage versus light increase from +5 to +9.
Right. So Hyper1's back in the Discord server, and he's been talking about this.
Oh, really?
StarCraft 2 channel. He said Hellion's already 4-shot workers.
And now they'll 2-shot them.
You can 2-shot earlier. Yeah.
What? What do you mean 2-shot?
So you 2-shot with Blue Flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean earlier?
It means... Oh, what does it mean earlier? Hyper1, what are you talking about? Oh, okay. Hold on a second. So with Blue Flame plus vehicle upgrades, you can get to a point where you 2-shot with like +1 or +2.
Okay.
But now you can get it with +1, I think is what he's saying.
Okay.
+1 and Blue Flame is amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean...
Anyway, trying to make mech better, basically. Hooray.
Yeah. Woo, I get to deal with more Hellion bullshit.
More Hellion Thor tank stuff. Whee.
Find my Zen. Go to my happy place. Free of Hellions.
You play Protoss anyway.
Only because if I do, we end up with 3 Zergs on our team. It's awful.
I know. I'm just saying. You're not losing your Zerg swarm to mech.
In my heart, I am.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay,
You're still a Zerg.
Yes.
Liberator.
Advanced ballistic change from providing +2 in defending mode to increasing the radius from 5 to 6.25, a 56 area increase. So the radius is going to be huge now.
Yeah. You can cover your entire natural base from end to end. Okay, that's not true. But it's going to be bigger.
It's going to be close. Yeah.
Because right now, it basically covers a hatchery, right?
Uh-huh.
It can cover a hatchery to where a drone can't approach it from any direction without dying.
Now it'll cover the hatchery and the mineral line.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
That's pretty good.
And smart services being applied to Liberators so that they can siege and unsiege much faster. That's going to be cool.
Liberator S is going to be a nightmare because if the radius is bigger than the queen attack distance, oh no. Hang on. It's not so big that a queen can't attack it while staying outside of the radius, right? That would be nuts.
No, so the Liberator still needs to be closer to the circle, right? So it no longer has that +2. So the Liberator will be closer, but it might take up more of like the nooks and crannies of like a outcrop on a map, right?
Yeah.
So it might be harder for the queen to get in there to hit it, but it will be closer if it can.
Got it.
Now,
Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine they do something where it's like, now there's no defense against Liberators if you're Zerg. Enjoy.
it would be insane.
Yeah, but then the smart servos thing you mentioned, yeah, I mean that too, being able to unsiege and resiege more quickly is just like, oh, so you get there and then they unsiege and run away and then they resiege quickly and it's like, just die.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. Yep.
Thor! Explosive payload, the splash damage mode, is increased from 6 plus 6 to light to 8 plus 4 versus light, which just makes them better against everything that's all stacked up.
Yep.
Their splash radius is increased from 0.5 with 100% splash damage to 0.5 with 100% splash damage. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Increased from 0.5 with 100% splash damage to 0.5 with 100% damage.
And now 0.7 with 75% and 1.2 with 50% damage. So instead of the splash being flat over just 0.5 100% damage, it's now as you go slightly further away, you take less damage. So it's actual splash rather than area of effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where in splash you take slightly less damage at the edges. That's what this is. And the explosive payload attack range is decreasing from 10 to 7, so they won't be as good against things like broodlords or carriers or anything.
Battle cruisers.
Yeah. Well, are you using splash against battle cruisers and tempests and stuff? Not really. It's single target, isn't it, for that? You just yeah, okay, so that doesn't matter. It's good against, I don't know, what is this against? Mutas? Great.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they're saying. It's never used unless you're attacking Mutalisks.
Oh, is that what they're saying in that? I hadn't read that. Yeah, okay. So it's okay, it's making it, I don't know.
They want it to be better against all types of flying units in a cost of major attack range reduction.
Yeah, I think this is a buff for the lower level players who forget to change their Thor mode. They put it in the front line in factory default settings, and this is just helping them. You know.
I mean, that happens. That happens a lot at the lower levels. Ooh.
All right. Cool.
Zerg changes.
Zerg. Yeah. Queens now cost 25 minerals more.
That's crazy. That's going to screw up my build so bad.
It's going to screw up your build very little, because hatcheries also cost 25 minerals less. So you'll put down
everything's wrong.
You'll put down your hatchery, you'll be saving 25 minerals. It'll be faster. By the time your spawning pool's done, you'll have kept that 25 minerals, and with the interest accrued, you'll be able to afford your queen.
No, I will have spent it on drones. Because I'll be like, where'd this extra money come from? What's going on? See?
Yeah. Okay, well, here's the thing. Over 2 bases, if you want to build 2 queens, which you do, that is now the cost of a drone gone. Right? If you have 3 bases, 4, I mean, you can't make 60 queens anymore, because every 10, you no longer get one free. Yeah. I mean, for price-wise, you obviously didn't get one free, but
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's not as big of a change, but it is a little bit nuts.
It is a little bit nuts. We might see Zerg build orders change. That'll be interesting into itself if it does, because hatcheries will be faster. You'll be getting drones out faster. If your hatchery goes down faster, in theory, you could cut drones and get the queen out faster as well. So proxy hatch might even be slightly more viable. 25 minerals is 2 seconds of mining time from a full hatch. So, but you're not doing that with a full hatch if you're doing that at the start of the game. So I don't know. maybe we can see some fun stuff happen with this. I don't know.
Right. I'm curious to see what the best Zergs are going to do with it.
Especially with the Spine Crawler and Spore Crawler changes, because if you
Dude,
can put
this is
down...
ruining ZVZ.
Yeah,
Oh man, they build faster and they hit harder. How much HP does a Zergling have?
80, I think? 65? Zergling, let's have a look.
I got it. 35.
30, really?
Yep.
Whew, okay, so 35. Okay, they can't kill them, though.
So it's still two shots a ling.
Yes.
Okay, so that doesn't change anything.
But, boy, does that make it weak to everything else. Like, if you could fight with drones and kill lings with a Spore Crawler. Because it's one shot from the drone after that.
Right, with the spine.
Yeah, with the spine, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dang.
But they no longer do bonuses to armored, they're just better generally. Which...
Okay. Right. I don't know that they were ever all that used against armored. I guess, like, defending against roach attacks in ZVZ.
Yeah.
But, like, Immortals and, like, Marauders just ruin them anyway. So
right.
we're doing more damage to these Immortals as they two-shot us.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Spore Crawlers now do 5% more damage, not 5%, 25% more damage from going from 15 to 20, but have 100 less HP, down to 300.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big deal. I've never been like, my Spore Crawlers keep dying.
So, do you know how many shots from a Spore Crawler at 15 damage it takes to kill an Oracle?
Nope.
11.
Ooh,
do you know how many it takes now with 20 damage? 8.
Oh. Ooh, that's nice.
That's great.
Like a little better against double Oracle attacks.
Yeah. So if you put down 2 and have a queen, you can basically shove away any Oracle really easily.
I'm okay with this.
They'll be better against Mass Phoenix.
That's also very good.
But I haven't done the math on how much damage they'll do, like how many it takes to kill a Phoenix. I can work that out for you if you'd like.
Maths.
I just need to remember how to spell the word Phoenix.
F-E-N-I-X.
F-E?
Yep.
Is it P-H? Phoenix is like the character.
Oh,
Phoenix.
you actually need help?
Yeah, I always get it backwards in my head. If it's O-E or E-O.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X.
No, I worked it out. It's fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, so at 15 damage, it takes 8 shots. No, hold on. I can't. That's gonna
That
be
can't
wrong.
be right.
Yeah. 15 damage. It takes 8 shots. At 20 damage, it's only going to take 6. So, spores are going to kill them 25% faster. If they fly over 6 spores, they one-shot them.
I mean, yeah, sure. Awesome.
All right.
Good. Yeah, so just better against Oracles and Phoenix. I'll take that every day of the week.
And technically Liberators. And I guess shoving away Medivacs as well. It's not nothing. It's not like their major use, but like... Sure.
Yeah. Acceptable. Hydralisk. Move speed on creep with muscular augments. Upgrade decrease from 5.11 to 4.83. Not as fast on creep anymore, but we get dash, which is research that the Hydralisk Den requires a hive. The upgrade costs 100 minerals, 100 gas, and takes 64 seconds. And it dashes you 60% move speed for 0.71 seconds. What the hell? Why? I don't want this.
So it's so that your Hydras can dash forward and keep up with Phoenix.
Half a second.
Yeah,
the gift they have here is like, and it's done.
Yeah, it's a little jump forward. That's like they should have called it jump and made them jump slightly forward.
Yeah, and then there's a 10-second cooldown. So it's not even like you can do this again anytime soon. It's like jump, 10, 9, 8. Like, you're not keeping up with anything with this. This sucks. I'm out. Is it like a passive ability, or you have to like choose to use it? Because I'm not using it.
I assume you cannot autocast it. I mean, if you could...
Charge is autocast. This is basically charge. Right?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, if they would have bind muscular augments in with it, then it is charge. It's literally just it's literally just worse charge.
Worst charge. Yeah, they just like, yeah, we made Hydra slower on creep, and we knew Zerg would whine about it. So here's a fun little zippy ability. Bye. This does not make up for that.
I mean, it would make up for that if you could use it on creep, and instead of 60, it was 120% movement speed.
Right. It would totally be awesome.
Yeah.
But no.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Infesta, the microbial shroud is now sticking to units, providing with its effect for 3.6 seconds after leaving the shroud. So that's good.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep, it's honestly one of those things that just should have been how it worked instead of just a cloud you stand in.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing to say other than cool.
Yeah, good job.
Maybe we'll see it get used.
I bet we will. That one I believe we'll see. My favorite change in the proposed test patch is Ultralisks can now push allied units. Hooray! Like, it's always one of my least favorite things in all of StarCraft is watching Ultralisks bounce around behind like 20 Zerglings and being like, oh, get out of our way, guys. We can't get in there. Like, why? Why can't you get them out of the way? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't know. Why can't they just walk over smaller units?
Or that. I would have preferred that, yes.
Yeah.
Also, I like in the GIF, like, the Zerg army is dying. The whole thing is dying. It doesn't matter where the Ultras are here.
Yeah, they should really have tried to make the GIFs, like, showing off the new abilities and, like...
Yeah. Instead of, like, this is what it looks like, and you lost anyway.
Because you made Ultras. Like...
Right.
It's just, they don't even, like, they're not even targeting them with snipes or whatever. It's literally just Marines and Marauders killing everything while A-moving.
They're not kiting at all. They're standing at the top of a ramp.
Do those Ultras not have chitinous plating? Is that what that is?
They might not, because they're dying really fast. There are a lot of Marauders back there, though.
Yeah.
Like, half of this is probably Marauder. Anyway. I'm okay with it. I mean, look, again, it's a patch for the bad players because the good players will just micro their units to where the Ultras are in the front. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broodling HP is increased from 20 to 30. I was watching Pig stream. He was saying that this is actually the reversal of a nerf that happened, so they're just undoing something there.
Okay.
Broodling weapon cooldown decreased from 0.57 to 0.46. So it attacks slightly faster. Great. It fixed the bug which prevented Broodlords from dealing full damage while shooting from the maximum distance.
Ooh, that's a disgusting bug. Wow.
There was a bug that...
Considering Broodlords are often attacking from maximum distance.
Yeah.
I bet that happened a lot.
Yeah, how many Zergs lost games because of it? We could have had way more Zerg finalists in the World Champions if this bug had been fixed earlier.
Yeah. Anyway, they're basically saying Broodlords lost too much power in head-to-head fights, so we'll make them a little bit better in straight-up fights instead of being squishy and kind of garbage.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
General, orbital command scanner sweep uses team color. Ooh,
that's cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
For people that play teams.
Sensor Tower minimap visual now uses team color as well. Cool. Command Center Nexus Hatchery now auto rally to mineral fields.
Oh. again for the bad players,
For the bad players.
which is me.
I mean, I feel like in the last 8 years, I've definitely seen a game where like a professional just forgot to rally his probes. I feel like I've seen that
Sure, once.
once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
Workers.
I've done it at least 2 or 3 times during our playing sessions.
Oh,
At
for
my
sure.
third base, especially. I throw the third down. I forget to rally to the minerals when I'm building it. And then I go back later and I'm like, why are there drones sitting here? Like, oh, right.
Yeah. Workers waiting for Vespene harvesters do not count as idle anymore. So that's cool. So if if you're pressing F1 to find your idle probes, you'll no longer pull things waiting for harvesters to finish. That's cool.
Yeah,
It's neat. Yep. SCV random delay between moving while building adjusted from a very small number to another smaller number. Cool.
I don't know what that's all about, but all right.
Added icon to command card for Infesta, Hellion, Liberator, Hellbat, showing unupgraded and passive upgrades.
Unupgraded passive upgrades. Oh, I
So-
like that.
Yeah, that's neat.
So basically, if you have a Liberator, it shows you that it doesn't have advanced ballistics yet.
Or Blue Flame for the Hellbats.
Blue Flame, yeah. I don't know, that's something that's incredibly useful, but it's kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Right.
Siege Tank and Immortal tracking changes from previous patch reverted due to causing unintentional retargeting. Okay.
Don't know what that is. What are we unintentionally targeting?
I don't know. I think unintentional retargeting, where I think it like during its cooldown from attacking, it's sitting there swapping to other targets as they walk just in and out of range or whatever.
I've definitely seen that, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I assume that's what it is. Fixed an issue where Blinding Cloud caused certain melee units attacks to be more easily cancelled.
I have no idea what that's talking about.
Absolutely no idea.
None. Why are you canceling melee attacks? What? Like, on purpose? Who's doing that?
Don't know.
Okay, lost.
Fixed an issue where Blinding Cloud could cause planetaries to not attack units at melee range in certain angles.
Fine.
Cool. Fixed an issue where issuing orders on certain types of rocks in fogs.
Like, attack these rocks and it's in the fog
Fog.
of war and then you just don't do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fixed an issue with Changeling Zealot move speed animation. Tweaked Hydralisk move animation speed to match its actual movement speed. Art only.
Wait, what? What do you mean art only?
Fixed the tweaked Hydralisk move animation speed to match its actual movement speed. So basically, it was slithering along at a slightly slower or faster speed than it's actually meant to.
But what does art only mean?
It's only affecting the
It
art.
looks correctly now?
Yes,
That doesn't make any sense.
sure it does. Have you ever seen
Changed.
Have you ever seen a game where the guy's walking speed is like this, and his little legs are walking along, and they're clearly going at twice the speed, but moving very slowly?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed that in my life. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's the patch notes. So, I mean, not nothing in here. This is some interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely could be interesting.
It's all PTR, so we'll probably have to wait another couple months. Or tomorrow, they'll just be like, nah, push it live.
Right.
Your thoughts? Anything overall?
Yeah.
What's your favorite change? Is it
Again,
the
it's
Hellions?
just Broodlords. It should be Broodlords walk over tiny things, but Broodlords pushing them
Ultras?
out of the way.
Ultras.
Sorry, Ultras. Ultras should be walking over things, but Ultralisks pushing things out of the way is a nice second. Mm-hmm. I'll take it.
Yeah. I think my favorite is the Orbital Command supply cooldown. That's my favorite change. The free heal to a burning supply depot.
Sure, guys. Also, they used the wrong "it's" in the final tweaked Hydralisk mood animation sentence. It's ITS for possessive instead of IT apostrophe S, which is a contraction. Anyway, these guys do StarCraft, not grammar. I understand.
Maybe you could get hired as a editor,
Proofreader for the
as a
patch
proofreader.
notes for
Yeah.
StarCraft 2. They have the money for that.
You could
Actually,
double.
Microsoft has the money for that.
You could double the StarCraft 2 dev team.
Yeah, right. Second intern. They're almost paying for a full-time employee at this point. All right. We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
StarCraft? I don't. Not StarCraft. That was StarCraft. Warhammer, the other kind of StarCraft.
That was StarCraft.
Yeah.
So, Warhammer time.
Warhammer time. Did you finish the book?
I did.
You did. You really caught up there. It was a couple of days ago. You were like, oh, I've read the first line and the blurb on the back of the book.
Yep. I'm telling you, when I have a lot of time to read and I like what I'm reading, I'm done on like Wednesday. So, yeah. If I'm reading a lot, I get through it fast.
Fair enough.
But if I'm intentionally pacing it out, or I don't have time to read as much as I thought I would, then yeah, get spread out.
I see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair. Alrighty. Ooh, I'm just noticing there's a map of the Sol system that was probably included in the paper book, but not in the audiobook for obvious reasons.
Correct.
That's
I don't
cool.
think I have that in the ebook.
Oh, okay. I will put that into the chat for you.
But also, like, I know what the solar system looks. Question mark?
You probably do. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, this is all stylized and stuff, though. Fancy.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is cool, actually. I take it back. This is neat.
Yeah. So it's cool.
See,
we read.
Again, sorry, go ahead.
We read The Solar War by John French.
We did.
And what were you going to say? That there's a lot of space between outside of the solar system and towards Terra? Is that what you were about to say?
No, I was going to say, it's a two-dimensional map that makes it look like you have to go to each of these planets in order to get to Terra. You do not. Space is three-dimensional. You can approach it from above or beneath or from the other side.
Space is three-dimensional, but the warp isn't. The warp...
Is it not?
Dude, it doesn't have the laws of physics. It's two-dimensional. It's one-dimensional. It's seven-dimensional.
The warp can do whatever it wants.
The warp can do whatever it wants, which is why if there wants to be the Elysian Gate, where if you're traveling to Terra, that's just one of the places it's gonna spit you out. Sure, it's a quirk of the way fast travel works in Warhammer.
Yeah, no. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the warp being like, you're here now. But I'm just saying, if you are traditionally approaching the solar system, why attack Pluto at all?
Because you're next to Pluto.
Yeah, fine. I know. You got spat out at Pluto, and you're being attacked, and you can't run away or else you'll die.
Right.
Right. But then at the end of it, Horus just pops out right in front of Terra anyway. So
right.
It's like,
they do some special warp magic, which I'm not going to lie, I thought was really cool.
I mean, the way they explained it, right?
Yeah.
They're like, even if we could have warp transited here, even if we ignored all the rules that say you can't, it would have taken weeks to transition back into real space from the warp.
But
it's just like, big hole opens, everyone comes through, done. Super nice. All the rules of warp travel just completely get suspended for a minute.
So I have a just memory of reading this book for the first time, and I can't. I did re-listen to this book. And I did not hear this moment where they all, get spat out right in front of Terra. I know it happens, but in my head, that moment happens and Angron is, standing on the stern of a ship, just, screaming into the void with heavy metal playing. I'm like, Angron is so rock and roll in this moment. And then when I was re-listening to this book, I did not hear that moment. And I'm like, did it not exist? Did I make that up? Is that...
He was there.
He was there. Was he outside a ship, standing on the outside of a... ship screaming?
I did not pick up on that. No, but
No.
let's see. He's only mentioned once, so it's easy to find.
Right. Yeah.
Angron stood on the hull of his
Oh,
capital ship,
yes.
a vast and ragged shadow.
He's so
Raised
freaking metal.
shadow axe raised to the sunlight, roaring his fury at the circle of Terra.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. It's like we're not going to talk about him anymore.
That's so fucking metal.
That's rad. Yeah, it was great. So yeah, so this book is effectively Horus finally decides to wander over to the solar system and like make an assault on Terra.
Yeah. He finally gets
And
there.
initially, the defenders are like, "This timing is weird, and it seems like the attacks are rushed, and this doesn't make any sense at all. What are we missing?"
They kind of are able to sit there and calculate that, like, oh, we just need to hold for a little while, right? Like,
Because Ultramar is coming.
yeah, because the Ultramarines are coming, and at that point we can pincer them, we can stick the, like, we can, crush them, we'll two-prong attack them, but we just need to hold until Ultramar comes. And then there's a moment in this book where, like, Malkador's sitting around a table with, is it Suka-Sen, this female Void Captain, who I really like her little arc in this, where she's, like, worrying about her daughter, and she's constantly, like, unloading this old pepper pot pistol. Oh, God, I love this character. But they're just like, yeah, okay, so it's like 12th of Secundus. They're too slow. We've
Right.
won. Like, that's it. I'm like,
we've slowed them down enough on the outer edges of the system that they can't get here before they're caught up to.
yeah, like, they'll get to Terra, they'll land, but they will still be clawing at the walls by the time Gulliman gets here. And I'm
Right.
like, I get that you think that, but I just feel like at this point they should have been, I don't know, more open about the fact that magic bullshit is a thing, and like, because at that point they were still like, well, they've all got to warp in at the edge of the edge of the system, and then fly in, right? This was pre every ship ever just being like, "Hi, Terra, I'm here now."
Right.
So I feel like Imperial overconfidence. I don't know.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's overconfidence, but like they also realize that if the Ultramarines aren't coming, they're dead. Like they're outgunned and outmatched here, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, they get that at least. I
Yeah.
think you can be overconfident and recognize you're completely outgunned.
Right, but it's one thing to be sitting around your war council and be like, "That's it, they've lost."
Yeah.
Horus
Yeah,
Horus hasn't even taken the field and he's lost.
Right.
Yeah, break out the victory champagne.
Yeah. And there's a good moment too. I think it's Dorn talking to somebody about Horus, and he's like, "Was Horus like, is he ever anything but a genius? Like, do you think he has stopped being a genius since we last saw him?"
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're aware. They're aware of what they're dealing with.
Yeah. So this is really just I don't know, Perturabo breaking Uranus and Neptune, and then there's a couple of like White Scars fleet. They do talk about how the White Scars are like hanging out above the solar plane, so they are looking at the solar system as a three-dimensional space.
Three-dimensional space. Hooray. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and there are Abaddon. He's got his little fleet making for Lunar, and he's gonna capture the Gene Vaults. A lot of little stories, and it's just I didn't ever feel bored with the fighting or the ship combat.
Yeah.
And so when it bounces between those and the Remembrancer, whose name I am Mercedes Olaton, yes.
Mercedes.
Yeah. When it bounces between her story and their story, I wasn't bored, even though what it was doing was just something it kind of had to do, right? Like, it's a big war. We have to start this at the outside of the system and then slowly draw into Terra. And then once you're on Terra, slowly draw into the Imperial Palace. And I think it just did it all very solidly. I wasn't bored at any point.
Yeah, I agree. The pacing was great, for sure.
Yeah. And maybe that feels like damning with faint praise, but I do not mean that to be faint praise. Like, that can be really, really hard to do. Especially when you're going from, like, 1,000 ships breach the warp at Neptune, and like Sigismund is like fighting off teleporting Terminators onto his bridge, and then slowly pulling back to detonate moons, right? To,
Yeah.
hi, I'm Mercedes. I'm dealing with 2 children, and I'm locked in a supply cupboard. You know.
I'm trying to somehow make it all the way to Terra and meet up with Dorn
Right.
and tell him an important piece of information.
I'm on a religious spirit quest from Euphrates Keeler.
Yeah. Which I did not see that coming. That was good.
I mean, obviously spoilers, but the twist at the end where it was like, it wasn't Keeler at all. It was Samus.
It was our favorite demon, Samus. He's great. He's very fun.
He's good, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the fact that the navigator that she broke out of the prison with didn't exist.
It didn't exist
It's
at
a
all.
Fight Club thing. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, it really gets you, especially when she's like, I don't know, she's so honest in her need to get to Dawn to tell him something, right?
Yeah.
That is like, I have to get there. Like, he needs to know this. And then you get there, and she just becomes like the key to a demon tide warp gate, taking over the Phalanx. And it's all been a big ruse, and Samus is like rubbing it in her face. And it's like, oh, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's crazy heartbreaking. And like she recognizes, she's like, oh yeah, I guess no one else did acknowledge that navigator or talk to him at any point during our adventures.
Right.
Oops.
Oopsie daisy.
And she's remembering when she's a remembrancer with the Sons of Horus, pretty right before the heresy. And they're like interrogating her about Loken, and I'm like, oh, what's this all about? Like, I don't understand. It's almost like they're gonna kill her, but she's alive, so that's not what happens.
Right.
Yeah, and so then it turns out that they wanted to basically spy on Loken and see if he'd be down with the heresy. So they basically implanted a magic eye into her so that she would record what's going on and send it back to them through the warp, so that they could see what Loken was telling her in confidence.
Yeah.
And so then she still has the eye, and there's still a connection to the warp. So Horus is like, I mean, or I guess whoever made this decision is like, well, the conduit's still there.
We can use that, like,
yeah,
any and every tool.
Right.
And all of that is sitting around the fact that, like, Loken knows that she's in prison, and like her story starts with her prison basically killing everyone that it's holding. It's just like, yeah, executions for everyone because we can't let the enemy have them. But
because we're under attack, yeah.
Right. And like everyone in the prison was essentially an innocent person as well. Like Mercedes was locked up because she had spoken to Horus, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit of like, well, the Imperium is good guys, right? They imprison innocent people, but it totally worked out for that one person who was actually a tool for chaos, you know?
Right. That's the point. Is you're like, this poor remembrancer, she didn't do anything wrong. She's not allied with the warp or the heresy or anything. She's not a secret spy for Horus. And then it's like, oh yeah, actually she totally was. And she didn't know. It's like, oh, so that's why they have to lock these people up. It totally justifies the whole program.
Yeah, but I mean, if we want to talk moral philosophy, is it okay to lock up tens of thousands of people because one of them might be bad?
When you're fighting magic that you don't understand, kinda, yeah. Honestly,
okay.
That breaks all the rules. Like in our world, no. But in a world where, there could be magic eyeballs that are conduits to the warp that we can't detect or find through any kind of a scan.
That's an interesting question. Could they have found it if they did proper things? Like the last couple of books, Balcador's basically been omnipotent on Terra, right? Like a single conversation with him and Mercedes, he should have been like, "I see that. Let's go ahead and cut that out of you."
Right. Like, if you're looking for heresy in someone and you're looking for warp taint and stuff, like, you don't bring someone in and be like, yes, everything looks fine here.
Maybe that's the comment, though. It's like,
Yeah.
in a system where we could screen everyone thoroughly enough to find warp magic eyes stuck in them, we just don't have the time and resources. Like, it's too costly to, like, treat these people as people. We'll just imprison all of them.
Right. Not great.
Not great. What was I going to say? There was a point that I was thinking of when I was re-listening to this, because I've since read another book where there's a picture, or this is a 40k thing, there's a pict of pre-fall Horace that goes up like on like a private auction somewhere on like some rich noble world. And the Imperium sends like the Inquisition to be like, no, you can't have a picture of Horus before the heresy. Like, because the Imperial official law, I don't know how to phrase it, is that the Emperor created 9 angels to fight 9 devils of the warp. He didn't have 18 sons. They were like loyal Primarchs who fell. So having a picture of the devil as like a man is really bad from the Imperium's perspective. And so I had forgotten a little bit of this book, was wondering, is this the start of that kind of regression of information and like what the Imperium thinks is true? Is because like they were locking you, Mercedes, up for having spoken to Horus, for knowing the truth that like he was just a guy that fell, and like, are they keeping that knowledge that people can fall to space magic from everyone else, like in the Imperium, as like, so they can't let her go? Is that the point?
Could be part of it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
It's complicated, and you know what? The book's great. It balances that really well if you've read the other books, which we'll get to. That's a great series. We have to read that series at some point. You'll get there.
Okay, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of good moments here. There's a lot of Abaddon backstory we get.
Sure.
I don't know. I liked at the end when he's sent to the moon, when he's sent to Luna by Horus to secure the Space Marine factory.
Right.
He doesn't just brute force it, right? He gets there, he recognizes that, one, probably can't stop them from destroying the Space Marine factory. But 2, if they really wanted to destroy the Space Marine factory, they would have done it a while ago.
Right.
So they don't really want to destroy the Space Marine factory. So he bargains. He's like, look, I know you don't want to lose your life's work and what you live for and all of this incredible stuff. Just come work for us. You can keep doing it, and it'll be fine. Immediately. They're like, done.
Deal. Yeah.
Awesome. But considering the backstory we have of the Emperor's relations with the Luna people, it makes a lot more sense. Like, they don't have any special love for the Emperor or the Imperium anyway.
No, they are not. They never quite fit in the Imperial hierarchy. They even after 200 years, they remain outsiders who are kind of resentful that their entire domain has been ripped out from under them and put into service of creating gene bulked monstrosities and set loose across the world. Across the galaxy, excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, so they fall immediately. It's just like, I'll give you the same offer that the Emperor gave you. You know, service or destruction. And like, we'll serve. What is the War Master want of us? It's like, it's instantaneous.
And like, it's crazy.
He doesn't even get the matriarch to like step away from like the machine she's operating, which is clearly about to poison a bunch of like gene looms or some sci-fi nonsense. He's just like, yep, it's fine. We agreed. Like, she stopped to say, we'll serve, and then he just walks away, and it's just like, he's so calculating that he knows, even like now that they've reached this agreement, you know, that like he can just leave her. Like, they could have destroyed it any time in the last 7 years, and haven't. I can just leave here at this point, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good moment. Then we have Abaddon on, never pronounced the planet name.
Chthoniya
or something.
Yeah, Chthoniya.
Nice,
Chthoniya.
I nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely nailed it.
Chthoniya and him growing up.
Yeah.
there and with the gangs and the warfare and stuff. And he's basically a prince. He's in an important family on the planet.
Yeah, so it's all gangs. So he's like a gang prince, yeah.
Yeah.
And like
But
his
like,
dad wants him to kill his friends, and that'll make him a man, and he'll be like a real king.
right.
And then
So
he's
then he
like,
kills his dad and says, fuck off.
yep,
And then spends the next little while evading everybody trying to kill him for that.
for that, yeah, for killing a
And
king.
like, what I don't really get about it though is that he's very anti-king, right? He doesn't want to be a king. It's not just that he had to kill his friends. He's just being kings are shit. I don't want to be a king. I don't want to be under a king.
Right.
And then he gets picked up to be a space marine, and he's like, "All right, your boss is Horus now." And he's like, "Done. I'm loyal to you, Horus." And I'm like, "Okay, but you just spent your entire last forever being like, no kings. Kings are bad. What happened here exactly?"
I think Horace wins him over in that conversation where he like, wait, well, is it Horace or is it just not a space marine where they're like, you'll give everything to be in this brotherhood, and if that's not enough, then like you shouldn't even start. And he's like, it won't be enough. It'll be everything, because what he cares about is brotherhood.
Right.
And like,
right.
and so the space marines offer him brotherhood, and that's what Horace is offering him. And it's like,
Yeah, but it's brotherhood under a ruler.
I don't know if he's against rulers. He just doesn't want to be one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would make sense then.
That would make sense, but he does work out to be the first captain and basically in charge of a huge proportion of the Legion. He's like, kings suck, but captains with military authority kick ass.
Yeah. All right, cool. So good job, Abaddon. He pulled off what he needed to pull off by being smart about it.
Yep. Yep. And okay, so last week I said like, oh, there was some stuff with Sigismund and his daddy that like this, and I absolutely forgot that this book basically recounts most of it, where Dawn is very much like, you are not my son, you little shit. And I think the one thing it skips out on is that Sigismund very explicitly turned down command of like a retribution fleet to go and like attack Horus, to be like, I'd rather be on the throne world with my god, you know?
Yeah.
Because I had a vision that I'd be here defending him until the end. So, you know, it skips over a little bit of that, but I think you get the gist of that. Dawn is not happy with his with Sigismund.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, they did recount the, like, you are no son of mine thing, like, 10 times throughout the book, so you couldn't miss it.
It weighs on him very heavily.
Yes, it certainly does.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else really huge that happened that I wanted to remark on.
Mercedes Ollison's entire plot shows the weakness of faith in the Emperor and how easily it's subverted to the will of chaos.
Right.
So just you know, make sure that gets noted.
Yeah. Oh, well then she freaking power friendships her way out of it, right?
A little bit, yeah.
So she's like straight up possessed by a demon that's a million times more powerful than she is.
But he's a million times more
smashes
overconfident.
Loken. Right. She smashes Loken into a wall. She kills all these people. She's gonna go destroy the reactors on the Phalanx. And then Loken shows up and she's like, ah, yes, of course. I will overpower this possession that I have and throw myself into the reactor and die and screw this whole thing up because I can do that. Because
power of friendship.
Power of friendship with Loken. Yeah, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
it just kind of subverts the whole demon stuff. They're incredibly powerful and ancient things, and especially this one. But no, if a random human remembers her as like, actually, I'm going to shake this off for a couple seconds, they totally can.
So that's the thing. Fighting demons is all about willpower. And Samus in this moment is incredibly cocky and not...
Yes.
I don't know. He's definitely toying with her and being like, there's nothing you can do.
And he's very villain monologue-y too. Like, insanely villain monologue-y.
Right. And it's like, I have to show you because, you know, what's the fun in that if I don't?
Right.
Um,
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, he's very villainy, monologue-y kind of guy, but all of his like, I hate Samus is the man beside you, and all of that stuff, I love it. I love it when he's just saying his own name and telling people where he is. He's like, I'm here, I'm next to you, I'm Samus. Samus is the one beside you. He's the only one you need. I'm the end and the death. Samus, Samus, Samus.
I know. It's because he's got branding. It's
Yeah,
like,
he has good branding.
best branding of any demon. It's amazing. I don't know who came up with this guy, but he's great.
I believe he was invented by Dan Abnett. Sorry.
Fair enough. Yeah, really, really, really fun. So, okay, so I'm a little bit unclear as exactly what happens. So she dies, but like, so Samus is gone?
The connection, yeah, he's gone. The connection that they were using to, like, the way that he frames it is like, the way all the demons are getting in is through her memories, because she's a remembrancer, so memories are particularly important. And she's so confident in her memories that gives them strength to just pour through indefinitely. So when she dies, because she falls into like a vat of plasma,
right,
that closes the connection and makes all the demons vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Horus is here with all this stuff. But they would have been having to fight demons as well as Horus.
That's...
Except for what she did. I think they say that. Dorn is like, we still have to fight the physical battle.
Right. Well, no. He talks about the war in the void is done. We still have to fight on the ground.
Yeah, that's what he says.
But that's not talking about like a lack of demons.
Not the void. He's talking about space.
Right. He's there is a line that I think Loken to Mercedes was talking about when she gets freedom. It's like, Samus is either going to turn this place into a nest or a pyre. It'll be happy with either, unless we can stop them. So I think, like, the Phalanx might have gotten, like, entirely possessed and overrun with demons and become, like, a extra dangerous demon breeding ground if she had failed. But, I mean, this didn't banish all demons from the conflict. You can expect to see demons moving forward in other books.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking
good.
The end of the last narrative thread, Suka Sen, the admiral who is like, has a hawk, drinks tea, speaks Chagorian with Jagatai, you know? Really, really sad little, like, if far as I'm aware, this character was invented for this book. And then they're like, and she's sad because she doesn't know what happened to her daughter. And Malcador just pulls some strings and like finds out that like her daughter was serving as a captain of a ship with Horus of the Lunar Wolves. Yep. It's I don't know if it's because the way she's set up and like she's constantly cleaning and reloading this pepper pot pistol that has a twin that she gave to her daughter, but it's like she's such a side character that in the space of like, I don't know, 50 pages throughout the entire book really makes you go, oh god, her daughter's dead, or right. is she turned to chaos? Like it's good when there's still that stake for a human scale.
Right. Because we say that all the time.
We say that all the time, and I'm
these
just noting
books are way better with human perspective and human problems and human scales.
Yes, even if
right.
Yeah. Yep.
Even if they're not the focus, even if they're just a side character that's in there for maybe 5% of the book, it's important.
Yeah.
It helps. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I like when Jagatai comes to visit her. It's Primark like wandering into your living room. It's like, this is not Primark sized, I'm sorry.
Yeah. She like gestures to the pillows on the floor, being like, you can sit there. Which I picture her quarters as being a slightly, I don't know, Asian kind of living space. So I don't think it was quite as rude as like she threw some pillows on the floor. It was like you can.
Right.
I think it was meant to be enjoyed that way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. It's just very funny to me whenever
Yeah.
Primarchs do stuff like that.
Well, whenever Primarchs have to try to make themselves feel human, but they're still giants, you know? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like their power armor's gone, but they're still like 9 feet tall. So like, yeah, good times.
Cool.
All right, next book.
Next book is The Lost and the Damned by Guy Haley.
Yeah, Guy Haley's back.
Yeah, he is.
I like how it auto-populates Lost and the Damned 40K, but this is a 30K book.
No, it's all Warhammer 40K.
Right. Right it is. Refresh page. Use points to buy book.
Every time.
Jeff Bezos. Come on, man. You have enough money. I don't understand this at all.
He has enough money, but not enough rocket fuel. He could always have more rocket fuel.
I guess. Incredible. All right, got it. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
Cool. All right, thanks everyone for hanging out for another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour with Somicron at twitch.tv/Somicron. VODs go to youtube.com/@Somicron. You can support the podcast at patreon.com/Somicron. And by buying merch at falconpaladin.store. Store's been revamped. It looks cool. It's got new stuff on it like buttons and tie-dye shirts.
It does.
How neat is that? So check that out. And yeah, thanks for listening. Until next time, as always, you take care of yourself. We'll be back in a week.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.